Good. Okay, so we're here with a Kohler generator. This is a generator actually, it may be a commercial line. I don't actually know how big it is. I'm here with the owner. It powers one house, but this house actually has a lot of energy demand. I think there's actually a transformer. I'm here with the owner. There's one transformer for this house, so that it takes power off the high power line. It goes to its own dedicated transformer, and that powers the house. So I'm looking at this generator. I mean, off the bat, my guess is probably like 50 kilowatts, if not larger, would you say? Do you know offhand? So
I don't know.
the owner doesn't know offhand, but we'll take a look at it and we'll see what it is. So we have over here, obviously there are 4 spark plugs on this side. So it's an 8-cylinder engine. Okay, that's the first thing we notice. The other thing I notice is it's not coil on plug. It's a spark plug in there, and it happens to be very nice. If you look in here, or in one of those, it has this like metal keeping this on. So in other words, it has like a little tie wrap inside, like a metal wrap. I've never seen it keeping this on, so it holds the wire and the plug against the engine so the vibration won't loosen it. Looking up here, you see over here, it's not a coil on plug, but it has this, here's a distributor, obviously 4 on this side. Here, I grabbed that so I can get into the small places. Yeah, if you can see it, where is it? Over there. See that? That's a distributor. Very nice. Here's the exhaust. From this side, it's the manifold, the exhaust manifold on this side. 4 cylinders here, 4 cylinders on the other side. It's a very big engine, 8-cylinder engine. Here's the exhaust. This is over here. If you look at this, this is to drain the, should be to drain the oil, I think. Yeah, except it leads on the other side. So if you have over here, looking at this, if you can see it, I believe this is, you turn this, it looks like there should have been something here, but you turn it, and then that'll let the oil drain out when you're doing an oil change. On the bottom, we have this. This is really just an extra piece. What it is when you're hooking it up to the gas line, which I think is on the other side, we'll look, you usually use this because it's flexible. See, it's got a flex to it. So this way, if it's vibrating, it's not going to eventually break the pipe. I'm not saying that what's here is not good or not sufficient. Oh, here actually is the, no, I must have been wrong. Here's the drain. What is this? This is the oil drain. That's what it is, you see? So if you look in there, right over here, there's a little valve, and that drains the oil out here, which is very convenient because you can just put something here. It'll spill all over anyway. But so what is this? This is this must be the radiator fluid drain. Yeah, I think because you see what they did? They popped out a freeze plug. One of the freeze plugs is here, and they put in this hose, and this, I think, it's hard to see on the other side, but that drains the radiator fluid. Now I'm just looking over here. It's not uncommon on some of these. You get a little bit of a drip. It looks like some of the radiator fluid might be dripping out of one of the plugs. Or over here, it's not unusual. It happens. I had that on mine. But that's why if you look over here, you're short on radiator fluid. So you just want to add it. I would just bring it up like a little higher up here. Because it'll say hot, that's the level it should be when it's hot. There's the level it should be when it's cold. So you just put it like a little higher up. This is the alternator. It charges the battery and provides power for the ignition. Here's the battery. So it's a, how many months does it say the battery? It's a 3-year battery. So just after 3 years, you want to just dump it. Don't wait till it dies, because this is a backup generator. If you wait till it dies, you know, it'll happen at the worst time. And the benefit is
auto truck.
Yeah, so it's a car, because this is a car engine. That's what this is. Interestingly, so it's a Kohler engine. It's not a GM engine. I would have expected them to use a GM engine, but Kohler, I guess, is using their own engines, or else they're buying it and putting their own label on
GM.
it. Oh,
No, maybe not. Yeah,
let's see what it says. GM. Yeah, so that's why. Yeah, because Kohler doesn't make engines, but I don't think so. But it's a GM, so they're taking a GM engine, they're putting on their own cover. and whatnot. What was I going to say? Got some leaves in there. We'll see if we can get that out. So this charges the battery. See, it's going to get power. It's constantly trickle charging the battery, so you don't have to worry. But if the battery does die, which is like you can tell it's totally dead, it's not starting, you can always drive your car up here, put the positive to the positive and the negative. I think you put it to the one, you just run it to the ground here. You don't attach it here. But on your car, you can connect it to the battery. You just clamp it on here, clamp that to the positive, and that'll boost it. That'll get it started. Here's the oil filter. It's a big oil filter. But I don't really see any leaks or anything. It looks good. It's got a big oil pan. It probably takes like 6 quarts of oil or so. Very nice. Looking at it up here. So this is where this is the radiator hose. It takes the hot fluid and brings it over here. Here you have a big radiator. This is not easily accessible. And it works on an electric fan, which is really nice. See that? That's really a nice setup. And this is like the computer, like all the wiring connections that go to the computer. It has a nice serpentine belt, which is a nice, see this? You don't want to put our hands in there because it could, you have to just assume it could start at any time. And it's one belt, a very thick belt, so it's very reliable. That's what this is built for. This is built for reliability. Now you have over here, the alternator is huge, and I don't know what this is, but it's big. This is like some, what does it say? I don't know what it says, but that's probably the control wires for the alternator that creates the magnetic field and whatnot, to get it excited. So that is that. Okay, this is the intake. You see what this is? In here is an air filter. That's there's a like a circular filter, and it pulls the air in through here. It goes in here. This turns the gas on. You can see the gas is coming from over there. It's going to mix it in here, and then it puts it into the engine. That's the intake manifold. Sucks it all in, goes inside, ignites, burns, and blows it out. Let me look on the other side. It's not easy to get there, but I'll go. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, so here's what's good about it. Here's what I like about the engine. On this side, you have over here on the bottom, first of all, you have the 2 gas valves, which is nice. That turns the gas. See, the gas comes in, they use a solid pipe, which is fine. And then you have these 2 gas valves that let the gas go to the engine. So it goes here, and here's where they're using the flexible pipe. You see? Can you see this? This is the flexible pipe that they have. It's longer so that it's going to shake. If it shakes, it's fine. It's not going to break. And this is the other side, the electronic gas valve that lets the gas go in and mix into the manifold. Okay, here's the distributor from the other side. More of this. You can check the oil. On the bottom also is very nice. There's a heater, and it just turned on. Do you hear that? So on this side, which I have on mine, and it's very important that this work, and you can tell whether it's working if your engine is warm, if you feel it on the bottom. So basically, what this heater does is it's heating up the radiator fluid. And so that the engine is always warm, because you know engines run better when they're warm, like your car. So especially in the winter, if it's cold out, this is just going to keep the engine really nice and warm. So when it starts, it's going to run beautifully, and it's going to be able to shift power over right away. Like my engine, when mine broke, the engine started running terribly. It was rough. It was a disaster. So you got to make sure this is running, and the way you check is just touch it. This should be hot, and it is. Okay. And looking at the rest of it, so this is just 120 volts coming. It's got to be from the house because it's powering the heater. Okay, so this is the GM air cleaner, and you can see which type you need if you need it. It's a GM 90280. Looking at that. So it's a very nice engine. It's super. I mean, you're not going to get better than this. There's a starter. It's covered up. And on this side, okay. Oh, I see. You know what that was? That pipe on the other side, I couldn't figure out what that was. That's the return for the heater. This is where it's coming. It's coming over here, under here, and it's the, it goes to the block heater. So the block heater is sending hot water up into the engine, and then the cool water is returning over here to the heater, which is what you would expect. You can't really see inside where the radiator is, just a big, huge aluminum radiator. I like the fact that it's controlled with this. It has an electrical control. It's one less thing to break. You don't have to have belts running the fan. It's electric. So it's a beautiful engine. Looking at the computer, it's on, it says engine runtime 15 hours. If you can read it, it's July 15, 2022. It says, anyway, next exercise, 12 p.m., July 20th. Next maintenance, September 22. Yeah. So it's telling you, and the battery says at 12.7 volts. That's not a lot. I think it's usually at 14, shouldn't it be? Well, that's maybe when it's charging, so it's putting out 12.7. I think that's fine. Okay, so July 20th of 2022, we got to do an oil change. And
July 20th.
Oh, right? No, September. I'm sorry, that's right. September 20th of 2022. Whatever. In the month of September, you have to do an oil change, and that's really it. So you just have to. We'll look again at what.
Concerning, this thing went dry on me, and there's no warning. There's no way to see.
Well, so you're right. I think it could be a couple of things. First of all, we don't know if it was filled up in the beginning, right? So it's hard to tell. You know, like with these things, a lot of things should be. But and then the next thing is you might have just a little leak where once every 6 months or a year, you have to put in a little bit of fluid. So you just want to get,
yeah,
it's usually
you didn't open this
you
thing
don't,
could have ran dry.
And it could overheat.
Blown.
But no, well, it would overheat, it probably would shut off. There'd be an error. It would be, it protects itself. But the point is, you raise a good point, with all these things, nothing, you have to be on top of it. This is like having a car. Either you bring it in, but you don't bring this in. So you'd have to, you got to look at it.
Come and deal with it.
So let me just see, here's the label. Does it say how big it is? I can't read it. So with my eyes, let me see if I could make it out. All right, let's see.
40 something. I don't know what. 40 something.
Yeah, it doesn't really say. It says emissions control information, which is not what we're looking for. Here. Oh, it's a model 48 RCL8. So it's probably a 48 kilowatt one, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so look, you could have a little leak. All these things, with all the heaters and everything, they're pulling the fluid out to heat it up. So it's not surprising if you have a little drip of a leak. Here's the oxygen sensor in the exhaust. That's the exhaust. You have that oxygen sensor that's giving the readout. It's reading it. That's the connection. All right, so what do you say we take a look at it going? So right now it's on auto. Your hands away from everything. Everybody's safe. Take a look at it. Ready, set. move. It's not shaking, it's beautiful. It's a great engine. Shut it off. All right, so it stopped, and what's happening now is the electric fan is just running to cool off the fluid. You know, what you're smelling is the exhaust. It's burning natural gas. So up above, here's the exhaust. I don't know where it exhausts it. Where's the exhaust? Let's see. Oh, you know what it's doing? It's smart. It's mixing the exhaust in with the fan blowing out the radiator. So the exhaust, there's the muffler, it's inside here. And then the fan's blowing that out over here. So you're smelling, it smells funny, but it's like, it smells like cooking a little bit. So we got it set up. So that's our view of a Kohler 48 kilowatt generator. Nice stuff. Take care, guys. And thanks to the owner for letting us take a look. Well, we're back because we got into the transfer switch. I just wanted to give a quick look. Okay, so in the transfer switch, I think, I have to read this stuff, but you see, this is hot, so we don't want to touch anything here. Probably these big ones, those are coming into the, those are going,
out.
That's from the utility. Probably these two are going from the utility, but you actually have, it's interesting, you have one thing. Is everything in your house covered by the generator?
Yeah.
Every single thing. So okay, so these are the two coming in. Because I thought some houses have 3 hot lines coming in. You have these 2 hots, which we don't want to touch.
3
They're going in.
Here. Look, 3 are in the pipe.
Yeah, but that's the third is the ground. You see over there? I think that's the ground. Yeah, it is. See that? The white one is touching. It's going in the ground. So there's 2 hots. 200. It's 120, 120, 120 volts coming in, right? And then going out, it depends. You see there are 2 banks here?
Yeah.
It depends. If the generator's going on, it switches to generator power. Generally, it's on line power from the outside of the house. So generally, it's uninterrupted. The power goes in, it goes down, and then it goes into your house. But when the power goes out, I don't think it's visible, but in there's a switch which will switch it to generator power. Oh, here it is. It's right there. You see there? Can you see?
Yeah.
You see that? In there, that thing over there will move. It's like a plunger, and that'll flip a switch which will take the power to it'll intercept it, so the power will come from the generator. And then here's a little circuit board. There's not much to these things, you know? It really isn't. And that's really all it is, but it's a beautiful machine. Enjoy it.